We're ready to start.
Okay, cool. I will share my screen. Sweet. Does everyone have that link pulled up? Alyssa, could you unmute me just so I can hear what's going on? Or unmute yourself, I guess.
Okay. So we are on that. Can you hear us?
Yep.
Can you? Okay, nice.
Okay. Do you guys have that link pulled up?
Yeah.
Yep,
Sweet.
we're ready.
Okay, sweet. Let's get started then. Let's jump in here. Okay, cool. So that link, I will pull that up here. It's the self-service setup. All you need to do is head over to Trailhead, click that quick start, explore the Coral Cloud sample app. It's going to take you to this page where you're going to provision your dev org. It's going to email you some instructions, reset your password, and then once you do that, you'll be logged in.
Is this dev org different from the other dev org that we would have spun up?
This is the
It's
same.
the same, but we need to add this install and set up the Coral Cloud Experience Cloud site package. So
But I'm asking because I spun up on a dev org a couple weeks ago, and that's the one that
they
I used.
expire after 10 days, I believe. So
There's expiration, so it's better to have only one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just plugged in.
You just logged in? Okay. But I think in Trailhead Playground there are something they pre-built already. Yeah.
So if you're able to log into the one that we set up last time, that's cool. If not, just spin up a new one. If you're using the same one as last time, we've already done this install the base package step. So you don't have to worry about that. You can move on to the Experience Cloud site package.
Yeah, where are you at?
I'm still studying where I haven't yet.
So once you're logged in and you provision the org, we're gonna head over to permission sets. I guess I'll give you guys some time just to install these packages and get set up.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's better.
Yeah, I have to do the, experience cloud.
Okay. Yeah, it takes a minute or two to actually install, so.
You can just connect.
Okay, the username.
Yeah. Just make sure to remove the first space.
May if you were there in the last one, your org should work too.
Oh, okay,
Yeah. Just try to connect with the same username.
Saying it wasn't deployed because experience bundle isn't enabled for our.
What was that?
When I was trying to install the Coral Cloud package, I got an error saying, it's not enabled for Aura sites. Enable and set up to enable.
Did you if you what you need to do before you do that is head over to digital. Digital, and then head over to settings and then enable the enable experience bundle metadata API. Did you do that?
Thought I did, let me make sure. Oh,
Okay.
I just did the overall enabling, but not the specific metadata.
Okay. Yeah, you need to do that before you install the Experience Cloud package.
Yep.
You can check.
Joe, where are you based?
I'm located in Houston.
Okay.
We're like, maybe he's in Miami. Yeah.
No, yeah, I was in Miami to basically give this exact session. A couple like last month, I think, a couple weeks ago.
Popular guy.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm giving a session on Tuesday with Gabby. I don't know if you're familiar with Gabby. And a
Oh.
company called Data Groomer. So we built basically an agent to help with data management, like
That's perfect.
duplicate merging and verifying like phone numbers and addresses and stuff like that.
That's
What a
cool.
dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So which package? All the two packages we need to
Well,
install.
Yeah, so the two packages you need to install are the base package and the Experience Cloud side package.
Okay.
And then do we need to do the other pieces? The
No,
install?
no.
Nice.
Yeah, we don't have enough time to get to all of that fun stuff.
Yeah, this one, the couple tools and
We have or, yeah, but did you?
yeah. Oh, it's winter 24. That's fine.
Okay.
Can you duplicate that? On the screen? Yeah. Because you need to go back. Do you the piece where you enable the aura? No, I didn't. Okay, here. On site.
Okay, issue.
Here, we're not all on, guys.
Oh,
Not my. Oh, here.
is it okay?
Okay, that's okay. I'll just follow along.
What was it? All good?
Yeah, I'm just gonna follow along.
Okay. What was the issue?
Oh, so it blocks, everything that's in speech because your browser blocks.
No, you can carry on.
Is it installed?
We're good to go, or do you guys do you need help with the install?
I got the install done, but Mia, who's next to me, there's something weird with her browser where she couldn't open the settings page for digital experiences.
What browser are you using?
Safari, Safari.
Yeah.
Do you have Chrome?
I might.
Lisa, how did you fix that can't be installed error?
Go to back to digital experiences, yeah.
So
and
yeah,
check
you have
off.
to go to settings under digital experiences and then enable experience bundle metadata API.
And then the first one you enable just Aura itself, and then.
Was it done?
No. Oh, so it's not just checked.
Yeah, but I think for the sake of time, we can.
Yeah, I'll hold.
Yeah, we
That's
can.
fine.
Okay. Is everyone good?
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, cool. My name is Joe. Nice to meet you guys. Unfortunately, I can't see you or be there in person today, but I'm happy to be here. Yeah, today we're going to be covering service agents. For the most part, everything we're going to do here is pretty high level. If you were to actually implement this in the real world, your implementation would be a lot more complex, just because it's essentially an entire service cloud implementation on top of all the Agentforce stuff. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, it's not easy if you were to do this in the real world. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to stop me, let me know. Feel free to ask. And yeah, we can hop into it. So I kind of want you guys to think about service agents as sort of like a low code AI teammate that sits on top of Service Cloud and Experience Cloud or like your website. It listens to customers, chats, emails, SMSs, and then uses the Atlas reasoning engine to figure out what needs to happen, and then runs, specific flows, prompts, and it can also update records. So basically, just like a seasoned customer service representative that never sleeps, essentially. So kind of like a brief overview of how they work would be the conversation starts in Experience Cloud when a guest asks, for example, can I change my reservation, right? Omnichannel then kicks the inbound flow. That message is then routed to an AI agent instead of a human, or rather before a human. If for whatever reason, after that point, the agent can't answer the question sufficiently or accomplish the task sufficiently, it will escalate that to a human. So the agent checks in that example, right? The agent's going to check the reservation object, update the case, and then send confirmation, all inside one topic. So yeah, like I said, if the request is complex, Omnichannel is going to escalate to a live rep with full context of what's happened prior to that escalation. So I've actually implemented this at my own company. And like I said, it's not easy, but I will say like it does matter and it is important. So right now we have 24/7 self-service without any code. So I've basically wired different agents together with tools like Flow and Prompt Builder instead of the traditional way of doing that in the past would be building a bot from scratch. I would say like one of the high level things that it's helped us with is consistent data and consistent process and a consistent process. So every case contact in this case the reservations are updated the same way every time, which ultimately improves reporting accuracy. And then you'll see in our example here, we're able to scale with demand. So,
Joe, are we supposed to be looking at the setup settings page still?
oh, I thought I was sharing slides.
Oh,
That's funny.
okay.
Yeah, good call. Well, I mean, for the sake of time, that was literally the end of my little spiel. So I'm glad you guys got to look at the setup page that entire time. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's literally it. That's all I had to say. Um, Sweet. Let's hop into this. So basically what we're going to be doing today is creating a customer service agent that helps customers learn more about their experiences. So in this chapter, we're going to explore how you can use Salesforce or Agentforce service agents to distribute an agent through Experience Cloud. And then this takes a combination of omnichannel functionality in Service Cloud to route a conversation from a customer through to an agent. To bring this service agent framework to life, you'll explore how to set up and customize agents using Agentforce, design flows for efficient message routing, and seamlessly connect these components with Experience Cloud for an integrated customer support experience. Cool. So yeah, let's hop into it. So if you guys want to, on that self-service workshop setup, let's head over to the service agents section and open up exercise 1. So that's going to be create a new service agent. So we're going to head over to agents. Oh, we got to enable first. So let's head over to Einstein setup. This is for people with new orgs. So if you've already done this in the last session, you're all good to go. And then once you've turned it on, let's just turn off the email address and name and phone number for the sensitive data. Cool.
So you went to trust layer?
Yeah, so I went to basically once you're in Einstein setup, you can
Go there.
Go to Einstein Trust.
you can basically go to Einstein setup and then just go to configure Einstein trust layer settings, click on that,
Take off.
and then just turn off the name, email, and phone.
And is this something that you would do like in a real?
No,
Listen.
so it depends on your data, I guess, security. So it really depends on your use case. Since this is sample data, it kind of just helps and speeds things up if you don't have it turned on.
Gotcha. Yeah, so because it doesn't sound like something you would
Yeah.
typically want to do.
So like,
Okay.
yeah, if you don't want personal identifiable information being shared with the LLM, you can turn on or turn off any of those. Okay, cool. So let's head over to agents. And let's turn it on. And we're gonna add a new agent. And we're gonna call this the Coral Cloud agent. Select service agent. That's kind of important.
Oh,
Okay, that's good.
Cool. Let's name this Coral Cloud agent. And the description is going to be, this is the Core Cloud agent that helps customers learn more about experiences as well as book sessions. And then for the role, you guys can just copy and paste this from the exercise. So the role is going to be this. The agent's job is to assist users in navigating and managing bookings for different experiences offered by Coral Cloud Resorts, ensuring a seamless customer service experience by providing accurate information and resolving issues promptly. And then for our company, Coral Cloud Resorts is a fictitious seaside resort that manages guests and their reservations. It offers a rich set of experiences, and then we're going to select new agent user and enrich the conversation logs and event logs. Cool. So then next, we can skip the data library. This would be like in the real world, you would ground your agent in either like your knowledge base, or if you had like specific SOPs you wanted to use or documentation, you can submit PDFs and stuff, and then ground your agent in that data. So cool. So let's create that and give it a second.
All the data sources.
The data one, maybe, yeah. Yes.
You're going to skip the data sources, but in the real world, that's kind of important.
Mhm.
Cool. So once we've created that agent, let's go ahead and create a new topic. And we're going to call this customer experience support. Okay, so they've changed the setup a little bit for topics. So we're going to actually have to put the description in first.
But
It's going to use Gen AI to basically create our topic for us. So I don't know how this is going to play out. We're kind of just going to have to trust that it's not horrible. we can always tweak it. So once we've created that, we can tweak the name, customer experience support. We can insert the description. And then we can insert the scope. Yeah, I mean, like the Gen AI stuff doesn't work that badly. Like it's pretty good.
I was confused because I looked away for a second. I was like, wait, I didn't even paste it in there. I was like,
Yeah, no, it's their new setup.
one of these ones.
I guess we can just leave those instructions. I don't see anything horrible in there.
Who is that?
This is all pretty standard stuff.
Yeah, I have some different things than you do, even though we created the same
Yeah.
label.
Yeah, well, welcome to Gen AI, I guess. Um, yes, this doesn't look bad. I mean, if you guys have anything that you see that you're like, that looks a little bit funky, just delete it. But mine looks fine. Cool. So let's click next. And don't select any actions. Cool. So we created that topic. We're good to go. So now we can create some custom service agent actions. So let's click into this topic and we're going to click on this agent, this topic's actions, click on new and then click on create new action. And for the type of action, we're going to select flow. And for the reference action, we're going to select get experience details. Cool. And then click next. I don't know why this is formatted weirdly, but just, I guess, get that on the same line. Show loading text for this action. Just say like something like getting experiences or something. Ooh. I always put ... just because it's I don't know, it builds suspense. Cool. So we're going to require the input for the experience name. And for the experience details, we're going to say show in conversation. There is no. Huh. Okay, so basically these instructions are a little bit outdated. So that experience details is just going to be the experience record. Cool. And then showing, yep. Cool. So
So-
let's, yeah, what's up?
Have you used that? Could you please scroll down a bit?
Sure.
Have you used that filter from agent action checkbox?
That basically means like in your flow,
Okay.
if you had an output variable, you're just excluding it from being referenced in the output of this agent action. So it can still be an output variable in the flow, just not directly used in the agent action.
Sure. Thank you.
Yep. Cool. So click finish, and then we can test it out. So we're going to ask it something like, can you let me know more about the full moon beach party experience? I should have probably refreshed before I did that. Cool. Okay. That worked. Oh, I guess it doesn't. It did not work. Never mind. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna refresh our tab. Sometimes it just takes a minute to kind of like, I guess, reference the appropriate action. And then let's try that again.
You don't need to type it, is there in that document, just copy and paste. It looks like I don't have that, I'm getting the same,
What you're getting?
same one.
It will take some time, you know, like the wait time is bit.
Are you guys having any trouble?
I'm getting the same answer even after refresh.
It says, unfortunately, the detailed description isn't available right now.
So basically, so are you using a new org or an old org?
The org that I used last week, but that I had used for something else.
Okay,
My install the,
did you guys do the import sample data?
no,
Okay, so if you don't click this little button, nothing's gonna work.
let's do that.
So head over to sample data import and then just click that.
It's such a weird button.
It's like the most awkwardly placed button I've seen in a long time.
There's like nothing else, you're like, oh, the page didn't load.
No, the crazy thing is they made an app for a button. Like this is like an entire app.
Yeah, right? No, it would be refresh and ask again.
But yeah, once you import that sample data, you'll be able to run it and get a response like this.
Okay, yeah, I got the response now.
Cool. So let's move on to, was everyone good on that one? The get experience details? Good, okay. So let's move on to the get customer details action. So we're gonna create a new action and it's gonna be flow, and then the reference action is gonna be get customer details. Cool, next. For the loading text, we'll say getting customer details. Cool. We're gonna require input for the email and for the member number. And then we're going to check the contact details for show in conversation. And we can probably we can leave those two blank. Cool. So
Was there anything that you changed?
nope. Just leave the other two output variables. Just leave those unchecked. You don't have to check either one of those checkboxes.
The loading text supposed to say.
Getting contact details, something like that.
Cool. And then it was getting the getting customer details. And then let's create another action called get sessions.
No, look at it, look in this one, look at it, look at the one, and then scroll down. Showing conversation finish. Okay, that is done. No,
We're on to a third
Cool. And then
action.
for the, sorry, what was that?
So
are
now
we in third action?
we're on to the third action.
Yeah.
After-
The get sessions action.
Again, flow action.
So yeah, there's nothing we can really test with the contact details in the session. So these are kind of supporting actions, if you will. Cool. So for the experience ID, we're going to require the input. And then for the start date, we're also going to require that input. And then show in conversation for the output. So this is what it's going to kind of look like. Cool. We're gonna click finish. And then we're gonna move on to the create booking actions or action.
Yeah, okay.
Create booking.
Yeah, this would take a lot longer because you have to have all the flows, have all the
Yeah.
information imported.
Oh, you're gonna, yeah, you're in for a treat. I'll tell you that. Once we get to the omni-channel setup, that's probably one of the hardest things you can do in Salesforce is that type of implementation. And we're gonna run through that in like a couple of minutes. You're literally gonna see us skip majority of the settings that you would actually need to complete in order to make that a functional implementation. Cool. So if we pop back into here, let's say for this one, creating booking. And then we're going to require the 3 inputs. So the contact ID, we're going to require the number of guests, and we're going to require the session ID. And then for the created booking output, we're going to click show in conversation. Cool. So yeah, just require input for all the inputs and then show in conversation for the output. Cool. And then once we've done this, we're going to add some instructions to the topic. So let's head over back to the topic configuration, and we're going to add instructions and just basically paste in those values.
Copy from the document. The 3 instructions there.
So it's basically just instructions for the customer validation, the session query, and then create booking. Cool. And then let's save that. And what we're going to do is we're going to refresh our conversation preview. So just click this little button on the top right, refresh, and now we can test it out. Oops. Okay, so once we've okay, hold on. Let's refresh our tabs and we'll come back to this and refresh your preview just in case. And let's try that again. Okay, so yeah, that's a little bit strange.
Different, response that said, sure, I can help you with that. First, I'll need to verify your details.
So that's what I should have got,
So you.
and I haven't got. So here, let's do something crazy. Let's activate, and then let's back out. This is just from you guys. If you guys are good and you guys got the verify your identity response, that's great.
Oh, okay, okay.
If not, just back out, activate it, back out, and then come back in and try again. Sometimes it does take a minute to like I don't know, kind of like parse your new actions so that it knows to use that. Okay, well, I'm not getting the verify identity, so that's great. Basically, let's try this one. Let me see if that like prompts it to check. Okay, so the verification did run when I gave it my email and member number. And then let's say like, I don't know, tomorrow. Cool.
So what we just experienced is two different types of agents, one that has a little bit more security because it didn't require anything from
Yep.
the
Mhm.
versus the second one, which is like, no, I don't know if
Yeah,
you're a
yeah.
guest or not, you're just
Yeah.
trying to crash this party.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. So typically like what would happen is you would be servicing this on the Experience Cloud site, which would require you to be logged in and authenticated. So in that use case, it's not the end of the world. So in that use case, you wouldn't require verification, or you could. But no, 100%, I agree. There's definitely some things that need to be looked at and tweaked. And I think specifically those those instructions that the Gen AI created are kind of skewing the intended results.
Yeah,
So not ideal, but it's definitely something that could be improved. Cool. So those flows and actions have been created, so we're good on that. Now we can get to the fun stuff. So configuring the service deployment, like I said, this is probably one of the hardest things you could do in the real world. Um, if anyone's implemented omni-channel, my hat goes off to you because it's not an easy implementation. Cool. So this is pretty straightforward. You do need to follow this specific order. You can't like skip steps and then go back. So just make sure you knock this out piece by piece. And yeah, um, cool. So let's hop into that. So let's head over to messaging settings. And we're going to turn this on. Cool. Now we're going to search for routing configurations. Oh. And we're going to create a new routing configuration. And we're going to call that agent routing configuration. If this ever loads. There we go. Cool. And for the user, overflow assignee, I guess just leave that blank. Like I said, we're going to skip most of this stuff. So routing priority is going to be 1. The routing model is going to be most available. And we're going to keep inherited. For the units of capacity, enter 2, and then that's it. Cool. Save that. So that configuration is now saved. Let's move on to the queue. So we're going to create a new queue for the messages. Oh, queues. And we're going to call this messaging queue. And don't check the send to email members. We're going to select the routing configuration we just created, which is the agent routing configuration. And for the selected don't worry about the supported objects. For the selected members, just select yourself. And that's it. Oh,
You cannot select that.
okay, hold on. We need to add an object. Oh, messaging session. My bad. Cool. So yeah, just for the selected objects, just say messaging session. Cool. So that queue's been created. Are you guys following along so far?
Do I have a question? So, in the queue section, what are the other objects that we can include?
Just for now, just do the messaging session. But it would basically depend on the use case for the routing configuration that you're setting up. So you can do multiple things, like you can do like calls, you can do basically any type of channel, email, stuff like that. And then you can create those queues dynamically based on your use case.
Okay.
But for now, we're just going to do messaging session. Cool. So let's move on to the presence status. Presence. And we're going to create a new value for available. Cool. And that's going to be online. And the selected channels are going to be messaging. And now we have to go create a permission set for the presence status to assign that presence status to our users. So head over to permission sets, click new, and then we're going to call this the Coral Cloud Service Agent permission. And we're going to put this description in here, which is this permission set grants access to messaging and the available messaging status. And the license we're going to keep as none. Cool. So let's save this. And then under assigned apps, oh, actually, let's go back to the overview and we're going to search for, oh, that's right here. Okay. Server's presence status is access. And we're going to add available and then save. And then manage assignments and assign it to ourselves. Cool. Sweet. So now we have to create a presence configuration. So we're going to head over to presence configuration. And we're going to click on new, and we're going to call this messaging presence configuration. The capacity is going to be 20. And that's it. Notice how much we're skipping here. It's a lot. So take that with a grain of salt, I guess. Sweet. Now we're going to create a messaging channel. So let's head over to messaging settings. And we're going to click on new channel, click on start, and then we're going to select messaging for in-app and web. And we're going to call this agent channel. Cool. Let's click next. Oh, okay. So that's just baseline setup. That's just basically setting up the foundation for the flows we're about to create. Any questions so far? Do you guys follow, or is that like super complex?
So, can we talk about the big pieces, right? So like we set up a queue and that queue is for all of the live agents?
No,
No, so that queue is basically going to, so basically we've got the I'll take it from the start. So we set up the routing configuration, right? Then we set up the queue, which basically funnels those messaging sessions to us. That's like that. Think of that as like the escalation, right? On top of that, we then created the present statuses so that it only does that when we're available. So if you had a team of people, right, it's only going to assign messages in that queue to people that are available. From there, we created that permission set, assigned it to ourselves. Then we created the channel, right? And that channel basically says, basically any app or website. So that could be your Experience Cloud site or your website. We can add this channel to. So basically, we've just created a funnel from the agent interface, whether that's on the website or Experience Cloud site, to us. Does that make sense?
Us
So
being,
it's basically just a really complicated way of getting the messages to the right person. Cool. So now we can kind of, if you guys are ready, we can hop into the omni-channel routing flows. These are fun.
at what point would you want to take a break?
Oh no, I'm good. I'm good.
You let us know.
Do you guys want to take a break?
No,
I'm good.
yeah, we can press on.
Cool. Sweet. So let's head over to flow.
yes.
And we're going to create a new flow. Let's go start from scratch, and then we're going to do, where is it?
Channel. That's right side, no, left side.
There we go. So we're going to select omni-channel flow. And we're going to create some new resources. So click on the resource manager and then click on new resource. And we're going to select variable, and then we're going to call this record ID. And the description is, this record ID is used to assign a messaging session to an agent. And we're going to select text and available for input. Cool. So that variable is done. Now we're going to add a get records element. So we're going to call this get messaging session. And this is gonna get the related messaging session that we're gonna route to an agent. Object is gonna be messaging session. Cool, and then we're gonna, for the filter, we're gonna say ID equals record ID. Cool. For the, okay, so we're gonna leave these, how many records to store, we're gonna leave that as default. And then how to store data or how to store record data, we're gonna leave that as default. Okay. Now we're going to add the, let me see here. Okay, we're gonna add route work after the get messaging session. And that's gonna be, we're gonna call this route to agent. And this is gonna be route the messaging session. Oh, description is gonna be route the messaging session to the Core Cloud agent. We're gonna leave this as single for how many records, how many work records to route, leave that as single. For the record ID variable, we're gonna select record ID. And then for the service channel, we're gonna select messaging. And this is gonna be route to the Agentforce service agent. And then we're gonna select the Coral Cloud agent. Cool. For the fallback queue, we're gonna select the messaging queue. And that's it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Could you please scroll down a bit? For the fall queue, what if we use variable?
You're saying for this fallback queue?
Yes, the second option, use variable.
Yeah,
What
what
it
about that? Are you saying like,
Yeah.
could you use that?
Yeah, so what it does actually.
Can we use it for this in a like?
Yeah, so you would basically just add in your queue ID, if you wanted to. So you would have to create a variable for your queue ID that stores that ID, and then you could just use that. And that's if you're using multiple queues,
Yeah.
and there's not really a good use case for that, that I can think of. I've never used it.
Okay.
So yeah, I just select the queue. That would be if like there's different queues in different situations in the flow, and you only want to use one route work. And yeah, it just gets complex at that point. Okay, cool. So
We're not
this
seeing our,
You're not saying?
you're not seeing what?
we're not seeing the Coral Cloud agent as an option.
Oh.
Did you activate it?
Oh, no, you.
I didn't, no.
Yeah,
We can
I
do it
probably
another
should
way.
have made that a little bit more clear. Sorry, that's on me.
That was another video, actually.
Just make sure you save, if you still don't see it after you activate it, make sure you save the flow and then refresh that flow and then it'll populate. But yeah, just save the flow before you refresh it.
And activate also.
Save the row and then refresh. Save it.
Agent flow. No, route to Agentforce. Route to agent. Now
Oh,
refresh.
because of the errors.
Oh. You don't see it.
Didn't want to see them. Let's just change this to.
There.
Do you guys see that now?
Oh, maybe some errors. It doesn't go into the-
No, no, no.
They don't have the agent, but they can tell. Nobody has to pick something off.
Do you maybe want to share your screen? And I can see what you're saying.
We're saving the flow because it's not complete. Because we can't. Select.
Ah.
No, I
Okay. So just refresh. Hopefully your browser doesn't make you start a new flow.
Oh. Oh, that's. Yeah. Wow.
So that's like standard across all flows.
okay,
Whenever you're
okay.
referencing a record, it
Yeah.
has to be written lowercase, uppercase I.
Okay, okay. I mean, without no spaces. Okay.
And then around the agent thing again.
Okay.
You got it now?
Oh, that work.
That's agent? Yeah. Yeah, it's good. I didn't work that exactly. That's, oh. Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Got nice.
Okay, we see it.
Thank you.
Fallback
Cool.
queue.
So then once you've done that, just select the queue and select messaging queue. And then save and activate.
Activated, right? Nice. Done. Thank
Cool.
you, guys.
Sweet. Cool. So let's update the routing, the queue routing flow. So we're gonna back out of the flow we just made. I like going to the automation lightning app for this, because I can actually search in here. And we're going to search for queue. Oh, oh, route to queue.
Then all flows.
Okay, so it's called route to queue. And we're gonna select that one and open the flow. Cool, so yeah, this flow is gonna be looking up the default contact, or gonna be looking up a default contact, Sophia Rodriguez, for the workshop so that we can illustrate how the agent is connected to a contact and case who may be starting a chat. In a real implementation, I'm just reading from the script or the setup documentation here. So in a real implementation, you should follow best practices to authenticate a contact and look them up in a flow before creating a case and session. So hover over the get default case and then let's click edit. Oh, hold on. Okay, so yeah, this is completely outdated. So let's get default case. And then
Are we in a
what
new?
does it, okay. Hold on, let me figure this out. Update records,
Search route.
Okay,
This
then.
one.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
default case. Okay, yeah. Let's see, get contact. Okay, that's gonna, okay. And then you're creating a case. Okay.
Yeah. Just replace it with this one.
Element.
And then we're going to update. Okay, so we're gonna just add a new element after the get create case. And we're gonna call this update messaging session. And we're gonna call this select specified conditions to identify records, and then select messaging session. Cool. We're gonna define this as ID equals record ID.
Yeah. Record ID. Yes. Create case.
And case ID is, oh, now it wants to actually reference the correct, I don't know, Salesforce sometimes, I guess. Case ID equals case ID from create case. Sweet. So your update records element should look something like this.
Oh, we have to go?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So once you've added that update records, we're gonna add the route work element. And we're gonna call this route to queue. Call this route the messaging session to the default queue. And then we're gonna keep that as single for the record ID variable. We're gonna select record ID. And for the service channel, we're gonna select messaging and route to queue. And then for the queue, we're gonna select the messaging queue. Cool. So once you're done with that, save as a new version and then activate.
Nice.
Sweet. So now what we're gonna do is head back to the agent. Let's go to the main page, the details page, and click on connections. And then actually we're gonna have to probably, hold on. Let's deactivate first. Cool, so deactivated and then head back to the details page. And head over to connections. Oh, this is cool. Yeah, that's new. Oh, sweet. Turn that on.
Agentforce. Oh, just agent.
Okay, so we're going to. Okay, click on the connections tab. Click on, oh, oh, okay, hold on. We need to, yeah, we need to add so they've kind of skipped a step. We need to add the route to agent flow to the messaging configuration before we can do this. So messaging configuration. Oh, messaging settings. And we're going to click on the channel. And we're going to,
Oh, do we need to activate that channel?
what's that?
Do we need to activate it?
Activate what?
This messaging channel?
We need to add the, so it's basically the step after you see add the route to queue flow to your agent. We need to do that first.
Okay.
Cool. So we're configure the routing type as OmniFlow, and then the flow definition is going to be route to agent.
Okay.
And for the fallback queue, we're going to select the messaging queue and then save and then activate this channel.
Okay.
And then now we can go back to the agent.
A messaging queue.
Messaging.
We have to go. Okay.
We have to go. Okay.
And we're going to add that.
Connection.
Did they move it?
The last one, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Joe, how many steps remaining?
Just one.
Just
Okay,
one. Okay,
nice.
cool.
Okay. Flow.
Yeah. Route to agent we selected, right?
Yeah. Wrong selection.
Okay, so I remember the issue from last time. Basically, in order to do this, we need to basically enable a permission in a permission set that we don't have access to right now. It's not set up as default for whatever reason. Yeah, so that's gonna take some troubleshooting on my end. It's if you guys want to do this in your free time, just give me a shout on like LinkedIn, and I'd be more than happy to help out.
Okay.
Yeah, I did when I did this in Miami, we had the same issue, and we all had to spend like 20 minutes troubleshooting that.
Joe, at which point we need to set CORS?
That
What's
is
that?
published to the site.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Shall we schedule another session, another part for maybe?
We can, yeah. If anyone's interested in doing that, yeah.
Maybe-
Yeah, so, like anything with omni-channel, it's pretty pretty hefty in terms of setup.
Yeah.
They're not easy implementations whatsoever, so
Because we face the same situation during the hackathon, right? So it's better we can have another session and try to, explain stuff from scratch.
yeah, I'm happy to do that. So you ran into the same issue in the hackathon?
Yeah, CORS issue, yeah.
Mm, mm.
The only issue we had.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's this problem is a pretty simple fix. It just requires us to go into permission sets and find the appropriate permission.
Yeah,
So not the end of the world, but
exactly. So let's have another session, Joe. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah,
thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's get in touch.
yeah, sounds good. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you.
Bye,
Thank you so-
everyone.
Bye.